What's up, guys? So, today we got an article by Mike Straw from Insider Gaming. I will put a link in the description to the article, and I haven't read it yet. I saw the article and I just said, all right, let's just jump in, both feet, see what's up. So, the article is titled, Why Did New Motorsport Games CEO Stephen Hood Return to the Company? Okay, so April 19th, news broke that shook the racing game community as longtime Motorsport Games CEO Dmitry Kosko resigned from his position. Though he remains on the board of directors, a new Motorsport Games CEO was appointed, Stephen Hood. Hood was previously president of Motorsport Games from March of 2019 to February of 2022. Just over a year later, he returns to the company. He helped lead through major licensing acquisitions. After his return, though, many questioned why he would choose to come back to a company that he left due to various philosophical differences at the time. In a statement released to Insider Gaming, Hood gave a bit more insight into his decision. I agreed to rejoin because I was of the opinion that great people with the right direction and support can deliver. He said, the role of CEO allows me to operate with the necessary authority to unlock our potential. I've been encouraged in my first few days. There is clearly passion and talent, not to mention a huge appetite to deliver. Currently, Motorsport Games has a number of titles in development, including its next NASCAR game and debuting IndyCar title. IndyCar was recently confirmed to be delayed to 2024, while NASCAR's gaming status remains up in the air. After speaking with a number of sources within the company, morale has improved. In just a week since Hood returned, many had told Insider Gaming in various past conversations that they were supporters of Hood and are now excited to see what comes next. He has the passion to get things on the right track. One source said he knew that the most important thing to fans was a great game. What are your thoughts on the future of Motorsport Games with new CEO Stephen Hood at the helm? Is that it? Yep. Wow. I was expecting more than that. This is basically a public statement. There's nothing new here. I mean, I don't see anything here to get excited about. Listen, from day one, I said, Stephen Hood is the only person that was anywhere in the company that had legitimate experience, developing games, at least in upper management, right? So I don't have an issue with Stephen Hood. He has a decent resume, but there is nothing that leads me to believe that even him or anybody can just come and magically turn things around. The problems that are at Motorsport Games, I've been telling people it's not just about Dmitry Kosko. And by the way, they never address why he's on the board of directors. I've never seen a CEO that could fail and lose as much money for a company as Dmitry Kosko has and still just fall ass backwards into more success. Board of directors. So I don't care if he has any influence or not. Right? It's not that I'm worried that he's gonna actually, direct everything. I just think it's too late. The problems that this company has in terms of finances is a huge problem. They've hemorrhaged so much money. How is getting a new CEO going to change that unless they think that people are going to just hand over their money because of a new CEO, regardless of who it is? I don't see that happening. I don't, you know, they've juggled and played all kinds of, they've tried everything, and they've been able to just really convert, you know, one pile of debt into a different pile of debt. Motorsport Network apparently is still going to be in this, right, for the long haul. How much are they going to keep pumping into this company? And, you know, I don't doubt that, you know, the people that actually work at Motorsport Games, you know, at the bottom, and the people that actually are the programmers and all that stuff, I'm sure they're excited, right? But excitement isn't going to build the game. You still need money. You still need resources. You still got to hire people. They've lost a lot of people. How many people have been laid off? I don't know. They shut down an entire studio that they didn't pay. And then they did say later on that they paid some of the money. I don't know how much of the money was paid back. Do they still owe people? What are the pending lawsuits? The rumors have been for a long time that there's a pile of lawsuits with this company. The fact that they still keep Dmitry Kosko on the board of directors is a mystery. I don't understand why you would do that. Any positive buzz you might get from Stephen Hood coming back as the CEO, you just completely negated it by keeping that guy in the company. Why? Dmitry Kosko's name is toxic. Why would you still want to be attached to him? And does he have naked pictures of people at Motorsport Network? I don't know, but he's got something on somebody. I don't understand how somebody can fuck up as often and as hard as Dmitry Kosko has, and the money this company has lost. And then they make this decision, right? He stepped down, right? It doesn't mean anything. Basically, he was forced to step down. But this is why I told you guys in the last video. This is all PR. That's all this is. This is a PR stunt. Because they're not getting rid of Kosko. All they're doing is hiding him in the board of directors. The board of directors is still a high position, believe it or not. Give me a second. I don't get it. I was hoping to hear more details in this article, but this is really nothing more than like a public statement. This doesn't really change anything from the last statement where, they give you that whole, it's all marketing. Oh yeah, people are excited and we're going to change things, and we have a lot of good people that are very capable. None of this matters if you don't have the money and the resources to do anything. And like I told you guys almost a year ago, we're not going to get a new NASCAR game for a few years. I don't like telling people that. I wish I could do a video just once where I had nothing but good news. But there isn't. And I've never been one to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to tell you, oh, yeah, now that Stephen Hood is in charge, we're things are going to turn around. I don't see how that happens. I really don't. And even if they start raising money, all of these steps take time. What about all the people they let go? How many people are there actually working on these games? They stopped working on one game. The other one's delayed. There is no roadmap. They never mention that roadmap again. And if you really want to drum up excitement, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm giving these guys good advice, right? The first thing you need to do is to come up with a battle plan, a roadmap, so to speak, right? But a real one where you can show people exactly what you are planning to do and how you are going to do it. Why am I telling them to do this? Well, you want to get people. I mean, I'm not. It's not going to work on me, but you want to at least try to get people, investors, possible investors, somewhat excited. If I'm an investor, man, first of all, I would steer clear away from Motorsport Games. I don't care who's in charge, but like I said, it bothers me as an investor. The first thing I'd say is, why is Dmitry Kosko still there? Why didn't you just cut ties with him altogether? I don't understand. He's got to have something on some higher ups at Motorsport Network. I don't get it. That is the biggest mystery to me. It's like, no matter how bad he's screwed up, I don't know if I've heard of any CEO. Now, I gotta, full disclosure, I don't. It's not like I follow, Wall Street and the world of business where I know what every CEO has done and not done. But following the video game industry, following especially NASCAR game development, I've never seen anything remotely close to the failure that has been Dmitry Kosko. All the negativity, the toxicity tied to his name, lawsuits pending, and you still keep him around on the board of directors. If you cannot give people a legitimate, clear answer to explain that, then why would an investor with half a brain part with his money? No matter who's at the CEO. These decisions are mind-numbing. I don't get it. And if you're doing this for any PR move that you're doing here, like just to get people, oh, look, man, we got a new captain at the ship. The ship is still taking on water. It's still sinking. A new captain isn't going to change that. Where's the money that it's going to take to get all this done? And I've defended Stephen Hood in the past. I've said it from day one. You have the one guy who has legitimate experience in the world of game development, right, at the upper level, management level position, and they didn't listen to him, right? So I don't know the details, but they've admitted over here, look, various philosophical differences, right? That's why he left. In other words, you don't need to be a mind reader, right? Obviously, he saw that these people everything they was doing was wrong. I mean, if I saw it and I'm just some random nobody on social media, of course, he's there. He saw it and he says, this is not how you make games. This isn't how you move forward with in the world of game development. And they must have butted heads, and it was like, whatever. I'm jumping ship. I'll tell you why he's back. He probably told them, I'll do the job, but you got to give me the same deal you gave Dmitry Kosko. So he did it for money. Let's don't be fooled. So NASCAR still remains silent. They of course still have nothing to say. How long is this going to drag out? And like I said, if I'm going to give you free advice, free of charge, okay? You have to push out some kind of roadmap, like a real one. If you really have a plan, show us. And I'm talking detail. If I was the CEO, I would come in and say, look, this is the kind of game we're going to develop. It's going to be a deep immersive career mode. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. You're going to be able to manage your career. You're going to be able to have your own team where you hire personnel. Every aspect of the business side of NASCAR, that's going to be available to you as an owner. And as a driver, you're going to have options, full customization, um, and a presentation that's top notch, that's comparable to games like MLB The Show and NBA 2K. You're going to get the things that you've never had before. And you're going to get a crew chief that's interactive, that helps you with your setups. Yes, you're going to have full customized setups. No more shortcuts. You're going to have a fully fleshed out career mode, top to bottom. And then list details. And you show people in illustrations, simple things that show people what you're going to do. Now, I'll be the first to look at it and say, I'll believe it when I see it, and I don't believe it. You know, you kind of lost me, right? But this isn't just about me. This is about investors. Investors want to know also, what is your battle plan? How are you going to take one of the biggest disasters of a company that's in flames right now? This is a dumpster fire. How are you going to turn this around? I want to know. I want details. I don't want to hear about, how, employees feel. Of course, employees feel good. Costco is in another part of the building. And now you got a guy with actual game experience. So yeah, if you're still working for this company and obviously it's a depressing work environment. Yeah, just any change is gonna feel good. It doesn't show you in any way how this is going to translate. The NASCAR game community has been getting the shaft for 10 plus years. It's going to take a lot more than announcing a new CEO, especially when you're still keeping around the guy that actually, caused the fire, the guy that ran the ship into the iceberg, right? And he's still there. Without any actual roadmap, and I'm talking about something real, and I don't see it. Who's going to pay for all this? And I don't see investors flooding and coming, unless it's just all Motorsport Network. They're just going to write checks. I don't get it. This is not... I don't feel an ounce of positivity of any of this. Even this article is just really PR garbage. What are your thoughts on the future of Motorsport Games with new CEO Stephen Hood at the helm? Well, I feel like nothing's going to change. You're not showing or telling us anything. I'm talking about legitimate description of how you're going to turn things around. And what's the timeline? Nobody has any idea when, if it, or when we're ever going to see another NASCAR game. How are you digging out of this? I just think he obviously the opportunity's there. He can come back, and say, hey, I'll come in and try to straighten everything out, but, you're going to have to pay. He's doing it for the money. And I'm not blaming the guy, right? I would do the same thing if I was in his shoes. I'd be like, hey, I'd be willing to come back, but you got to give me the same fucking sweetheart deal you gave numbnuts over there, Costco. And I don't know, man. How do you move forward? And Dimitri's still in the building. I don't know, man. So anyway, thanks to Mike Straw for the article at Insider Gaming. The link will be in the description. But this is such a nothing burger article. And my first order of business, if I was CEO, would be to strategize and draw up a roadmap that I can show the public, investors, the gaming community, everyone. And not just rely on, hey, I'm the new CEO, I'm coming to save the day. And people are just going to automatically feel better. That's not going to cut it. But that would be my top priority right now. And I'd let people know we're going to go hire more people. We're going to do this. You got to get I mean, I understand that it's not normal for any game developer to get into that kind of detail, but you're desperate. You have no money to do anything. How is and the only way to raise more money is to get people's confidence up. How do you do that without details, without a plan? So that's my advice. You got to come up with something detailed where people look at it and answers all their questions. And even though you're going to have a lot of people, and I'll be the first one to say I don't believe a word of it, that doesn't matter. You still have to do it. To me, it's one of those things that you have to do it before moving forward. You can't just rely on new CEO and then not say anything, not show anything. I don't. This whole thing is nuts. But the worst part of it is, like I told you guys, no matter what happens, even if he finds a magic wand and he's able to somehow miraculously raise money and hire people and get everything back on track, and then get to the point where they're gonna actually deliver a game, that is still, I'd say, minimum 3 years away. You start from I'm talking about the first game, starting from scratch. 3 years is borderline. And I know there's people, oh well, Monster Games did it in iRacing. They released, that fucking dirt game, and they did it in 18 months or whatever time they did it. But the point is, they had assets already. They had a lot of assets. That's why that game looks a lot like a Heat game. And iRacing has a lot of assets. We're talking about building a game from the ground up. The first game that every other game is going to be built on, right? 3 years to me is tight. Unless they're going to go back and you try to, revive the ignition and try to work off that. We've already seen that game is hard to work on, just to even patch. I'm sorry, guys, but none of this is good news to me. This is just more delaying, right? I'm more concerned about NASCAR and their lack of interest in getting involved, not saying anything. They're just letting this license die on the vine. It's just crazy decisions across the board. I don't know what any of these people are thinking. Those are my thoughts, guys. I look forward to your comments later.